the lead up to the London Olympics was something else. I think, you know, as players, kind of like, well, for me, it was one of those ones where you want to get really excited and join in with that buzz, but then there's just that thing in the back of your head saying you've got to get selected first, you've got to get selected, and that's for us that was always there. But there certainly was just a much more, like you say, a bit of a buzz around it all as the kind of games got a bit closer, and then there was a lot more going on with Team GB as well. You know, how we got given our kit was suddenly, you know, turned into a whole experience rather than just going to somewhere and, you know, you're trying on kit and you get given a bag at the end. It was now you go to this place and you experience all these different things, and it was very, very different in that regard. And of course, you know, as hockey players, we were able to train on the pitch, and we saw the stadium kind of rise from the ground up. You know, when the pitches were built, we were there training there, even though it was just kind of a building site all around. And so we really did see it take shape over a period of time. And you know, I think there was a little bit of scepticism, wasn't there, as well in the country, as to how the games were going to go. And you know, I just remember turning on the television 8:30 of the first hockey morning. I think it was Australia were playing against somebody at 8:30 in the morning, and the stand was packed. You know, there wasn't a spare seat, and you're just kind of looking at my teammates in the apartment thinking, oh my goodness, and this isn't even a GB game, and this is going to be incredible. And it was, you know, it was just like Sydney in terms of the fans, the volunteers were sensational. The show that we put on, the ceremonies, was absolutely incredible, but it was obviously just way more special because it was at home and they were all cheering for us. Social media had started to take off, you know, and I was certainly on Twitter. I know the majority of the team, I think, were on Twitter at that point, and actually we had a conversation before the London Olympics as to whether we you know, thought it was the best thing for us to be on social media actually during the games, and we came to a joint decision that we decided it probably wasn't the wisest thing, and so, you know, we made that choice to not be on it during the games itself, but certainly outside of that, you know, it was great because it really allowed sports like hockey, you know, being a little bit more of a minority sport, and I think, you know, wider than that as well, women's sport in general has really helped those athletes build a better platform, but also, you know, interact with the fans. You know, for hockey, kind of even up to the London Olympics, the Olympics was still the real time when you got to watch hockey on the television. It's changed now, which is great. You've got the Pro League and a lot more events that are televised. But that was really the only time, and so it was really, social media has allowed us as players to really interact with those thousands of people that play hockey around the country. You know, it's a massive sport in terms of participation, and so, you know, it really helped with that, I think. And, you know, you started to use the term hockey family, and I think it really is a huge hockey family that we have in this country. That, you know, people, you know, volunteers all over the country volunteering for their hockey clubs every single week, that, you know, the sport wouldn't run without. But now it really is truly a hockey family that have hockey at the heart of it, the best of hockey. And I think, you know, that's really started that support, just having that support from people who really care about how you do. And actually, if you win, lose or draw, they still really care. And I think that's the thing that's really come across, you know, London and beyond London as well. Our first game was against Japan, and walking out into that stadium was just incredible. It's so hard to describe because, you know, it's just one of those moments that you just think, wow, you know, I'm lucky enough to be be stood here. And psychologically we've done a lot of work on how to deal with that situation, kind of dealing with the pressure of playing at home and all of that kind of stuff. We did so much work with our psychologist on lots of different aspects, but that was one of them. And for me, my coping mechanism in that kind of environment is to soak it up and take it all in. So I'll be walking out for the warm up and for the line out, kind of just looking around and just being like, yeah, this is why we put the effort in and the hard work, all that blood, sweat and tears. This is why we do it. But then also remembering those people who have put in the same effort, the same blood, sweat and tears, but can't be in that moment because only 16 get to take that field. And I think that was the strength of our squad for London and for Rio, that it was about the whole squad. And it really was an amazing, such a special culture that we created for London. People who I respect so deeply, and people who will be my friends for a lifetime. So the semi-final was obviously, the outcome was really disappointing. We played against Argentina. We lost 2-1. We got our goal literally right at the end of the game. I think a minute or 90 seconds on the clock or something like that. So we were really banging on the door at the end of that game. And obviously afterwards we were so gutted. Our vision had been gold. It was to try and win that gold medal, but also be about gold medal standards in everything that we did, and we certainly achieved that part of it. We didn't get the gold medal, but we certainly achieved those gold medal standards in everything that we did. And actually, London, that London cycle was the first time truly I could walk away from tournaments knowing that myself and the rest of my team couldn't have done anything more. And actually, now I'm a little bit older and a little bit wiser, that's all you can ever ask for, to know that you couldn't have given anything extra. You did it everything, and that's a good place to be. And I think you finish where you deserve to finish, and for us, I think in London that was probably third. But winning an Olympic gold medal on your home, I'm getting emotional now because it is and was incredible. It's something that will live with me forever. Yeah, so obviously we'd lost that bronze, the semi-final match, and we were pretty good actually at recovering from losses and preparing for the next game, but this was so different to anything else. How we felt, it felt like a morgue. We nobody spoke really. I just remember doing the warm down, because obviously you still have to do the warm down, drink your recovery shake, go into the change room, do an ice bath, get changed, shower, and get on the bus. We went back to the dining hall, we had our food. Literally it was silence. Nobody was speaking at all. And actually I think, having experienced what we were going through at that time, I was really grateful for the processes that we had put in place actually for that moment. And one of the things that we had learnt from previous tournaments and previous losses was that we need almost like a line in the sand. We need a moment in time where we say, okay, enough now, we move on to the next game. And through discussions, through work with our psychologists, we decided that moment for us in the Olympic Games would be the pool recovery the next day. So, you have the rest of that day, evening, whatever, after the game, overnight, the morning, you can still, if you want to be in that mindset of disappointment or whatever, but as soon as we then got to that swimming pool, we had to change it, and it was now right on to the next game. And I remember we were, again, nobody was talking, going in the bus to the swimming pool, and we got changed, we got into the pool, and everybody knew we had to now change. And our strength and conditioning coach at the time, Dave, he was incredible. You know, he was amazing at his job, but he was also really great with relationships and knowing what was needed at the right time. And we often played volleyball in our pool recoveries, pool volleyball or whatever, and he just kind of like threw the ball in, and we then started to play, and it just allowed people to almost like crack a smile. It was almost like, yeah, am I allowed to smile? And we started to smile, we started to laugh, we started to joke, and then it was like, right, now next game. And you know, then it was the processes again, kind of the video analysis for New Zealand, all the food preparation that we go through before every game. And then one of my best memories actually from London was as we were lining up for the bronze medal match. I just remember, always did the kind of like good luck and high fives and stuff like that, but this time it just felt a little bit different. Looking in people's eyes and being like, in fact, I don't think anyone needed to say anything. You just tell that everybody was ready. In that moment, just kind of thought, we're not going to lose this game. We are going to go and win it. And actually, we played amazing in that game. And actually, ended up being reasonably comfortable towards the end, with a little cushion of a couple of goals. So yeah, and they're that's sport though, isn't it? That's how you react to losses and failure, is the making of everybody, and we see that played out in sport so often. So yeah, some very fond memories.
Brilliant.